30, 35 minutes. If anyone has any questions on anything, feel free to ask. If I know the answer, I'll answer. If I don't, I'll make something. Folks, the only rules on the boat, there's no smoking or standing. You need to keep your arms and elbows inside the boat at all times for your safety. We're gonna go under a lot of low bridges, narrow areas. Watch your arms and elbows. All right, folks, the hotel here on the left is the Hilton Palacio del Rio Hotel, the palace on the river. The Hilton Hotel is in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the fastest hotel ever built. It took them 202 working days to build. There's about 500 rooms in it. The way they did it, they brought each room already furnished, about 8 miles south on flatbed trucks. Lifted them up with a giant crane, set them all into place. That's the way it looks right up there. Just like Lego blocks. It was done by H.P. Zachary in 1968. They did it just in time for the hemisphere, folks. Right here on the left, Hilton Hotel. Fastest hotel ever built, 202 days. The Guinness Book of World Records. In front of the boat, you'll see a large house that's part of La Villita. La Villita was the first village of San Antonio. Some of the first people to live in this village were the Spanish soldiers and their families when they were stationed at San Antonio de Valero, the Alamo, back in 1722. In 1836 is the spot where Santa Ana had his cannon line set up facing the Alamo during the Alamo siege. La Villita is a historic district. It is open to the public. Today it's a bunch of shops, restaurants, and art galleries, folks. So La Villita, the first village, it's all the way back to 1722. All right, this part of the we're going to go through here. This is the outdoor Arnes and River Theater. They got the stage on the right, the grass seating on the left. This opened up 1941. Seats about 800 people. Summer nights on the weekends, they do have shows here. Fiesta Noche del Rio. This is also where they broadcast some of our mini river parades from right here at the Arneson. Anyone ever seen the movie Miss Congeniality? In that movie, there was a scene filmed here, and it was a swimsuit competition. That was back in the year 2000, starring Sandra Bullock. So Miss Congeniality right here at the Arneson. All right, we got a low bridge right here. Watch your heads. Right now we're on the natural flow of the river, folks. This river spring fed a couple of miles up north. It flows south. There's a unique bend through downtown, like a horseshoe. We're on the horseshoe bend part of the river right now. About 3 to 5 feet with a mud bottom. We do got a couple of man-made areas. I'll point them out to you guys as we go by. Right there in front of the boat, you'll see a large sculpture of some bulls and a cowboy. Behind that sculpture, that building used to be the main library back in 1930. In 1968, that was the Hertzberg Circus Collection. As of 2013, that is the Briscoe Western Art Museum. You can find anywhere from a restored stagecoach wagon to Santa Ana's ceremonial sword to Pancho Villa's last known saddle, folks, right on the right. That is the Briscoe, folks, the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Folks, as we go a little further up here, we are going to go under that low bridge right there, so please watch your heads. Try not to reach up and grab this bridge. There are a lot of sharp edges. The last thing we need to do is go in for a technic strap, right? So watch your heads here. This is an old bridge from back in the 1800s. Nothing but nuts and bolts, no welding. There's only a couple of these bridges across the river. These bridges were built in Berlin, folks. In Berlin, Connecticut. Old school style, nothing but nuts and bolts all the way. Berlin, Connecticut. Still pretty fun. Old bridge. As we pass up the bridge, look in front of the boat there on the right, you're going to see a small island right there. That's Marriage Island. There's over 300 ceremonies that take place here on this island every year. You'll notice there's a sculpture on the island. The sculpture is dedicated to Father Damien Massanet. Father Damien Massanet held the first Catholic Mass on this island back in 1691. They say getting married on this island brings good luck and good fortune. I should know. I've been married here 3 times. Marriage Island was out of the first Catholic Mass in 1691. As part of the river here, this is the Old Mills Crossing. This was the last known place where horses would drink and cross the river. This was the shallowest part of the river back in the 1800s. In the early 1900s, Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders went to cross the river here all the time right here. At the Old Mills Crossing right here. Oh. I like the shade. That's haunted too. At least we got a little bit of a breeze. It's a little partly cloudy, so you get that shade every once in a while. So back there on the right, you saw Marriage Island. Right here on the right, Divorce Island, folks. There's an island for every acre. Just kidding. Hotel on the right, that's the Westin Hotel. Built there back in 1999. The Nuncas have furnishings and artifacts from the 17th century European castle, folks. Right on the right, that is the West End Hotel. All right, look over here on the left side, look up in the sky, you're gonna start to see that Tower of Life building. So back in 1929, this used to be known as the Smith and Young Tower. Smith and Young are very superstitious. You look all the way up to the top, you'll see the gargoyles hanging off the sides up there. They thought that by putting up those gargoyles, they might scare away the bad business, the evil spirits. The bad thing is that they built this building in 1929. That's when the Great Depression hit. Built it for $3 million, were forced to sell it for $300,000. They took a big loss. Keep looking here on the left, underneath that set of windows coming up right there, you'll see some faces, some ugly faces. They call them grotesque. Those were also put there due to superstition. Another cool thing about this building, in 1941, Dwight Eisenhower had an office here on the 7th floor when he had a leadership role in the Army in those days. Today, this building is empty. They're going to make this into apartments, guys. These will become apartments here at the Tower Light. You can see the faces are a little bit better there underneath that set of windows. They're ugly faces, grotesque. A lot of people think this building was in the movie Ghostbusters, folks. You know, that building is in New York. This building was in a movie called Cloak and Dagger, though. That's what that little boy from E.T., Henry Thomas, back in 1984. Look it up, pretty cool movie. It's got a lot of the Riverwalk along with the Alamos in that movie also. Cloak and Dagger, 1984, Henry Thomas. Henry Thomas is a native from San Antonio. Another cool thing about this Tower Light building is the way they designed the building. As soon as we pass up this bridge, look back at the Tower Light, you're going to see the design of the building kind of makes it look like a ship coming right at us. It looks like the bow of the helm of a ship. Pretty cool photo op. Take a look behind me. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Looks like a ship about to join us here on the river. Some people even report hearing a horn honk. Something like that. Pretty cool design. All right, look in front of the boat, that red building, that's our Bexar County Courthouse. But back in 1892, it is one of the oldest and largest courthouses still in use in the United States. It's right there in front of us. That's the courthouse. Here on the right, this used to be the main library, 1968. 1998, this became the International Center. This is where they have the trade offices to the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And they do have a marina here in the basement, so we keep some of our 43 boats, which are here on the right side. I'm gonna honk the horn, get ready, okay? On three. 1, 2, 3. As we get to this bridge and take a ride, folks, we're gonna leave the natural bend of the river. We're getting into the man-made flood control channel. This is the deepest part right here. Ranges anywhere from 15 to 20 feet deep here. You take a look back here where I'm at to the right, left, right before this bridge is one of our floodgates back here. If we ever have a flood, what we do, we raise this gate right here. We lower the one down the river. Any excess water from that downtown part of the river comes into this flood control channel. We lower the dam, which is here to my left. It's about a 15, 20-foot drop. All the floodwaters continue south, keeping this downtown part of the river safe from flooding, folks. That's our flood control system. This here, floodgate number 4. Again, this river's spring-fed, a couple of miles up north, close south. There's a unique bend through downtown, like a horseshoe. It continues south. Well, they made it straight here for flood control. They put gates at each end of that natural bend. So we're coming out of this side, we're gonna go on the other side. I'll show you the other floodgate. All right, take a look right there in front of us, folks. You got the popular love locks right there. People get engaged, they buy a lock, they lock the lock, throw the key into the river, and they seal their love forever, guys. So these are the love locks right here. And they got them on both sides. They got some on this side, they got them on the other side also. One of the new things I've been noticing though is that people are starting to use combination locks. So I don't know what that's all about. It's a new thing. A lot of combination locks, just in case I could. Got a lot of romantic spots here on the river. You got the marriage island, you got the love locks. We're gonna go past under Salina Bridge. It's pretty romantic out here. This is the deepest part, folks, 15, 20 feet. This is our flood control. This man-made area right here pretty much makes that natural horseshoe into a big circle. This is the most popular part of the Riverwalk, folks, this big circle right here, right in the middle. Downtown. Remember, the river starts a couple of miles up north, and it goes south another 150 miles to the Guadalupe, and empties out into the Gulf. But this big circle in the middle, this is the most popular part. All right, as you pass up this bridge, look to the right, you got a historic building. 1929, this used to be the Alamo National Bank here on the right. In 2007, the building was bought by the Drury Plaza. They were able to construct this sidewalk, which connects that river bend to this flood control channel. And also this bridge here crosses over to the main plaza. They donated this to the city. They still have the original chandelier from the bank, along with the large safe inside that hotel from the 20s. All right, take a look here on the left, folks. You got Main Plaza right here, but follow the steps right there all the way to the back, catty corner to the left. You might be able to see the oldest church in Texas, folks. San Fernando. San Fernando Cathedral was founded 1731 by 16 families from the Canary Islands at the invitation of King Philip V from Spain. That is the oldest church in Texas. San Antonio is literally built around the church. If you go into the church, you can find the tomb of some of the heroes of the Alamo, including Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, and Travis, folks. So San Fernando, 1731, it is open to the public. Folks, and every night at 9 o'clock, they have a free light show at the facade of the cathedral. We call it the Saga. It's the story of Texas and San Antonio. So every night, 9 o'clock, free light show right there in San Fernando. All right, look right here in front of the boat, folks. You got one of the oldest and tallest trees on the river, the Ben Milam cypress, over 300 years old. Legend has it that during the Alamo days, snipers would climb up this tree right here. Ben Milam was one of the people shot here in this area back in 1835 and dedicated the tree to Ben Milam. Ben Milam cypress, over 300 years old right there. All right, this is where we're going to turn, folks. We're going to turn to the right. We're going to leave the flood control channel. We're going to enter the natural flow of the river, the natural bend. We're also going to go under another floodgate right here. The only difference between this gate and the one we saw earlier, this one comes down into the river, like a garage door. The one we saw earlier goes up out of the water. This one comes straight down and blocks the floodwaters from going into that downtown part of the river, keeping it safe from flooding. So that's our flood control system. This right here, floodgate number 3. Back in the natural bend, 3 to 5 feet mud bottom, folks. If it floods, the water goes from north to south, and this downtown bend here becomes a big swimming pool right here with these floodgates. Safe from flooding. All right, take a look in front of the boat to the right. Up there you got the Esquire Tavern. The Esquire Tavern is known to have the oldest and the longest wooden bar in Texas. It's over 100 feet long, folks, right there on the right. And they happened to open up the day right after Prohibition, fully stocked and ready to go in 1933, folks. And right there on the right, the Esquire Tavern, the longest wooden bar, over 100 feet long. Before this was a bar, it was a barber shop, folks. So it's part of that barber shop with a couple different kinds of buzz in there. The speakeasy right there. This hotel here on the left, this is historic building, 1921, used to be the CPS, City Public Service. That's what we compare electric bills. In the 90s, the building was bought by the Drury Inn. They remodeled the building but kept the exterior to its original 1920s appearance, folks. So right there on the left used to be CPS, City Public Service, 1921.
Very old.
Folks, as we pass up this bridge, right there on the right, you'll see another ticket location. You have 3, you guys gotta look the Historia. This is the Aztec location. Same company, same price. Another place you can cover the boat ride, and you have to be down here. That's the Aztec, here on the right. And this location happens to be in the basement of the historic Aztec Theater, 1926, here on the right on the street level. They used to have silent films there at the Aztec. So you got the Aztec on the street level, you got tickets down here in the basement. And keep looking to the right up on the 3rd floor, you'll see a cool little statue there. An Aztec warrior princess, right here, right in the middle as we pass by, right by the tree, behind the tree. On the 3rd floor, you'll see the cool statue there. This is the Aztec.
Oh yeah.
All right, this hotel coming up here on the left is a historic building, 1853. This used to be a school for boys, a Catholic school. In the 60s, the school grew, they moved it west. A couple of the graduates bought the building, made it into the hotel you see there now. The Mansion del Rio, the mansion on the river, opened up in 1968 in time for the Hemisphere. Folks, anyone ever seen the movie Salinas? Bidi Bidi Bamba. That bridge right there in front of us, I was in the movie Salinas, starring Jennifer Lopez, 1997. During the holidays, they put lights up and down these cypress trees, making it a really nice spot to come take pictures here at the Salinas. Anything. Oh, yeah, on the right, folks, you got the Macaro Hotel. In 1901, this building used to be the L. Frank Saddle Company. It was the largest saddle company in the world. They used to furnish saddles for the soldiers during World War I. Also, famous actors and presidents would get their saddles there. The L. Frank Saddle Company, it's all the way back to 1901. Here on the right, before they had cars. The largest saddle company in the world. Look at the baby ducks right there in front of the boat to the right. They'll be over here. You'll see them here and there. It's like season.
Look at that. It's so cute. Aww.
Take a look in front of the boat to the left side. On the other side of that bridge, you'll see that tall building right there. Used to be the Knicks Hospital. But then back in 1930, that was the first hospital that size to be fully air conditioned in the United States. In 2019, they did close a hospital. They're going to make that into a hotel. The thing about this building is the way they designed the building. As soon as we pass up this bridge, look to the left. Look at the edge of the building, look straight up, you'll see an optical illusion. It's going to look like a freestanding wall, like a tall, skinny wall. Pretty cool photo op. So pass up the bridge, look to the left, look at the edge of the building, look all the way up to the top. You're going to see the freestanding wall. Pretty cool. Alright, so here we go. We're going to pass it up, look to the left, look all the way up to the top. Pretty cool. Optical illusion. Really cool thing about this hospital, there were celebrities born here. Cal Burnett was born here at the Knicks, along with Oliver North. Also Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and Furious. One of our mayors, Henry C. Skittles, was born right here at the Knicks. A little more activity on this side, more of the restaurants on this side of the bid. Natural bid. Look right there in front of the boat, folks. You got the Hyatt Hotel. Looked there back in 1981. The thing about that hotel, they only allowed them to go a certain height. The reason for that is because the Alamo is on the other side of that hotel. You cannot cast a shadow on the Alamo. So the Conservation Society stepped in, only allowed them to go 16 stories high. That's a Hyatt Regency Hotel. They call it the Paseo del Alamo, the path to the Alamo. Because if you go through the hotel and you go out the other side, right in front of Alamo Plaza. This is the closest we get to the Alamo from the Riverwalk. So, Hyatt Hotel, 1981, Paseo del Alamo, the path to the Alamo. Folks, and as we pass by the hotel, look here on the left side, inside the window, right in the middle right there, you can see they got their own love lodge bridge. Right here, right in the middle, inside the window. They got their own little love lodge, another romantic spot right in the middle. Alright, take a look here in front of the boat to the right side. On the other side of that bridge, you got the Casino Club building. Put them back in 1927. Think about that building, it was never a casino. It used to be the offices to the Casino Association, the San Antonio Club. In the 70s, they remodeled the building. They made the top part into apartments and the bottom a restaurant. Some of the famous people who have lived here at these apartments are Alex Haley. Alex Haley was the author of the book Roots, and also Tommy Lee Jones, folks. And right there on the right, on the bottom, you got the restaurant. On top, those are apartments here on the right side. All right, this part of the room we're going to go through right here, we call this Restaurant Row. So we're going to find out of the restaurants. You got all kinds of food here. Chinese food, Mexican food, Italian food, Mexican food, Cajun food.
Mexican food.
Mexican. A little bit of Tex-Mex. All kinds. There's all kinds of food here. This part of the river is actually pretty safe too. It's only about 3 to 5 feet deep here. So if you happen to drink a few too many margaritas and you fall in, don't panic. Stand up, walk out. Go get another one. Go get another one. Restaurant room, 3 to 5 feet with a mud bottom. Pretty safe for another 2 feet. All right, take a look right in front of the boat to the right. The building in the corner there, that's a historic building, 1891. That used to be the Riverside building, now known as the Clifford building. That building is also known because in 1941, that's where Robert Hudman, the architect of the Riverwalk, he moved his office right here. He did it on purpose to show that the river was safe from flooding and to promote more businesses to move down here to the river. So if you take a look right there in front of the boat to the right by that bridge, right by the steps right there, there's a small statue there dedicated to Robert Hudman, the father of the river, the architect, had his office here in 1941. Wow. Right here in front of the boat to the right by the bridge, right by the man with the vision. The architect. One of the first businesses to move down here to the rivers coming up here on the right, Casa Rio, established in 1946. This was the first Mexican restaurant on the river. It's also the first restaurant to offer riverside dining, riverboat rides, and riverboat dining. It's right down the right, Casa Rio, 1946 right here. Folks, as we go a little further up here, we're going to take a left right here. We're going to leave the natural bend of the river, the big circle. We're going to enter a man-made channel. The channel we're going to enter right here was made to go to and from the convention center here in the hemisphere in 1968. And now also goes into the River Center Mall. That part of the river opened up in 1988. This part of the river we're entering here is a small man-made right here. Concrete bottom. 5 feet, folks. 5 feet deep here in this area. Like I said, the natural river doesn't bend through down to like a horseshoe. This is the top of that bend. So we're going to go up this town and come back down. Go around the other side. This is all man-made. This man-made area is quickly becoming a real artsy part of the river. We've got a bunch of murals and mosaics and sculpture. Lots of places to take pictures. Some weekends and holidays, they have pop-up markets along the sidewalks or local arts and crafts to walk around from the top of it. A lot of the trees you're going to see along the river here, they're not native to the river. A lot of these trees were brought here, brought along the river in 1968 in order to beautify the river for the hemisphere. A lot of these trees are called bald cypress trees because in the wintertime the leaves do turn brown. They shed their leaves, they're bald. She's a really bold strategy. You can do that, yeah. All right, take a look in front of the boat to the left side along the wall right there. You see that colorful mural there? That's the butterfly wing. It's a pretty popular spot. People like to come here and take pictures. It's their social media profile right there on the left. Also kind of cute when the kids take pictures here. It looks like they got really big ears, really, really large. This butterfly wing. This is a man-made channel quickly becoming an artsy part of the river. Lots of places. Picture of it. All man-made in 1968. Go to that hemisphere. I'll tell you more about that hemisphere. We're going to go into the fair. As we go a little further up, folks, take a look here in front of the boat to the right. You're going to see a man-made waterfall here. Pretty much made to rotate the water. Another popular spot. People like to come take pictures here. San Antonio, Niagara Falls. San Antonio, isn't that beautiful? What a popular spot right there. Folks, keep looking to the right. The living between the trees and the sky to the right. You got the tower up there. Nice Americas. That's 750 feet high. Has an observation deck and a restaurant. It involves once every hour. That was the center point of the hemisphere of 1968. To be the tallest tower in the United States until it was beat by the stratosphere in Las Vegas. It still is the tallest tower here in our city, folks. So, Tower of the Americas, they charge $19.50. You want to go up to the observation deck for $200. You want to come back down. Oh, no. Just trying to see who's paying attention here. $19.50 to go up. I believe if you go up and eat at the restaurant, it's free to go up. So you're going to go up and eat. You're going to spend the big bucks up there. But folks, you have another view of that tower as we go around the bend. Right? Another photo op. In case you didn't see it in the while we were see anything. We are going to come back down this channel, so we'll see all this. All right, right there in front of us, you got a large statue. That is the Stargazer. The Stargazer is made out of volcanic rock.
What is that?
The Stargazer is holding onto a star. The star is made out of marble.
What is that bird?
Looking through that star, looking up into the sky, gazing, dreaming, and wondering. The Cowboys going to win a Super Bowl. The Stargazer right there was commissioned from Mexico for a tricentennial. San Antonio turned 300 the year 2018. It's done by an artist named Pedro Reyes. It is the Stargazer. All right, we got a low bridge. Folks, as we pass up this bridge, look in front of the boat to the right, behind the tree up in the sky. You're going to have another view of that tower. How they make a center point to the hemisphere. The hemisphere was a world's fair, celebrating San Antonio's 250th birthday. And other than the Alamo, pretty much put San Antonio on the map. That's when we built that tower and the convention center, along with a bunch of hotels and theaters in this part of the Riverwalk. 1868, hemisphere. Folks, look right in front of us to the left. You got that nice little reflection off the glass. Nice little group photo. Alright, right here's a go to the right, folks. We're into the fairgrounds of the hemisphere. This is the Henry D. Gonzalez Convention Center. The Henry D. Gonzalez Convention Center is named after the first Mexican-American congressman, local native from San Antonio, Henry D. Gonzalez. So from 1961 to 1999, and San Charlie Gonzalez said from 1999 to 2013. This is the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. It's recently gone through an expansion. Today it's one of the largest and most modern convention centers in the country. This is our Henry B. Gonzalez Convention facility. Folks, as we pass up this bridge to the left, on the second floor behind the trees, you see the Lila Cockerel Theater. The Lila Cockerel Theater also opened up in 1968, and it's named after the first female mayor here, Lila Cockerel, for 2 terms in the 70s and 80s. Keep looking here on the left on the 3rd floor, you'll see that beautiful mosaic. That was given to us from Mexico before the hemisphere of 1968. It was done by an artist named Ronald Morgan. They call it the confluence of civilizations. It took over 400,000 natural colored stones from all over Mexico to complete those. Right down the left, the confluence of civilizations from Mexico before the hemisphere, 1968. All right, folks, as we get under this bridge, we're going to turn around and go back down the river. The reason we need to do that, this is a dead end, folks. This is as far as this part of the river goes. This is a man-made channel. It was only made to come here to the convention center during that hemisphere in 1968. So, folks, we are going to go around the lagoon right there. That lagoon was closed for a couple of years. Construction was a little too narrow. We wound up removing some railing. It made it a little less narrow, but it's still very narrow, especially on the other way around, on the way out. So make sure to watch your arms and elbows. They're very narrow, especially on the other side. This is a convention center, folks. As much as this is a dead end for the boats, you can't continue walking. If you continue walking, it does mean the Hemisphere Park. Once you're up here at Hemisphere Park, take a left, and it'll take you straight to that tower. Are the Americans? We gotta turn around here and go back down the road. Folks, right here on the right side, you got another place to come take pictures of family photo right there. If you'd like to come take graduation photos or wedding photos, I'm going to Alright, this is going to be the side over here, guys. Very narrow. I just got my license, folks, so I'm fully certified now. I learned everything. We should be found. I learned everything on YouTube. Watch your arms, man. Very narrow. Folks, one of the more popular times to visit the Riverwalk is during the Christmas holidays. The day after Thanksgiving, we have a real big Christmas river parade. That's when the mayor hits a switch and turns on all the Christmas lights, kicking off the Christmas season. And the lights do not stay up year-round. They do come down the second week in January. Also, around from the day after Thanksgiving all the way to the second week in January. Also time to visit the river during the Christmas holidays. Very popular time. Watch your arms, guys. It looks like we might be weaker here. I don't know. This is what I feel. This is the second time I've done this. I'm getting better, guys. Slowly but surely. We did it. We got it. Practice makes perfect. This is like riding a bike. Folks, as we go a little further up, take a look to the right. Look up on the 3rd floor. We're going to have another view of that mosaic, another photo out. If you look right in the middle, you see a small child standing on the Alamo. That's considered the child of the future. We're here on the right in the middle. The confluence of civilizations. Little boy right in the middle, holding the toilet. Can't miss it. Folks, you might notice these boats are pretty new. These boats started in 2017. They're electric boats. 5 different colors on the boats, 5 different designs. The design we're on right now, this is for the military. We are Military City, USA. Had a military presence in our city for the past 300 years. We also have a boat dedicated to the tricentennial. San Antonio turned 300. Year 2018, we have a boat dedicated to the historic mission. We have 5, including the Alamo, the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We have a boat dedicated to the Dove. The Dove is for peace and friendship, and also one to the sun. It's here in San Antonio, and it's plenty of sunshine to enjoy a nice vacation here in our city. So 5 different colors, 5 different designs. These are electric. Anybody here in the boat in the military? Any retired? Any veterans? Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. God bless you. We're a military city. We got a blind curve right here. Folks, this is actually the 3rd style of boat since that hemisphere. During the hemisphere in the 60s, the boats ran on pure gas. It was that way all the way into the mid-90s, and they finally went to CNG, compressed natural gas. This is 2017, we're now electric. So 3 different styles on the boat since that hemisphere in the 60s. when they started doing the boat rides. All right, look right here in front of the boat to the right. Got another view of the stargazer, folks. It's about 16 feet tall. There's over 80 pieces of volcanic rock right here on the right side. Represents looking up into the sky for hope, guidance, inspiration. All right, so you get to this bridge, look to the right, you'll see there's a channel there that leads into the river center
Yung
mall.
takay, no?
That opened up in 1988. That's another dead end. It's another lagoon. It's also, we have another ticket location. Another place you can come get a boat ride. Same company, same price. Another place you can come get a boat ride if you happen to be down here at the River Center Mall Lagoon. You're on the right side, folks. And keep looking here in front of the boat to the right, you'll see another statue right there. Statue of San Antonio de Padua, St. Anthony. Statue was given to us from Portugal, 1968 for the hemisphere. That is who we named our city and river after, folks. There on the right, St. Anthony, San Antonio, the saint of lost things, the saint of travelers. Like that breeze, right? Folks, for thousands of years, this river was home to the Payaya Indians. The Payaya Indians used to call this river Yanaguana. Yanaguana stands for clear, restful, peaceful waters. This river is actually fed by natural springs a few miles up north. It flows south from downtown San Antonio. It goes 150 miles to the Guadalupe, empties out into the Gulf. This river is fed by natural springs called the Edwards Aquifer. It's actually also where we get our drinking water from. This is a natural spring-fed river here. We also get our margarita mix from this. What you guys are doing? Trying to see who's paying attention. That gets that nice green color. Folks, another fun time to visit the Riverwalk is during the St. Patrick's holiday. The guy in the river, really cool looking green. Emerald green. You got a party bus. Any excuse for a flood. Folks, take a look there on the right. Behind these trees up on the street level. It's a little hard to see, but there's a church, and that's St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's is a German-speaking Catholic church. Built back in 1868, it was built for the German community, wanting to worship in their native language. On the right, St. Joseph. Once a month, the German Mass. They're open to the public. That's on the right. 1868. The building coming up here on the right, this is our complaint and compliment department, folks. This is our Chamber of Commerce right here, guys. So, you guys have compliments. My name is Pete. If you have complaints, my name is Ron. There's another military over here. The American Eagle. Alright, take a look in front of the boat to the right, up on the street though. You can see a red sculpture. That was given to us from Mexico. It was done by an artist in Sebastian from Chihuahua, Mexico. Given to us in 2002. We call that the torch of friendship, folks. The torch of friendship. That red color, it's enchilada, folks. Enchilada. Really powder, getting hungry. These enchilada, some onions and well, so as soon as we get up there, that bridge and take a left, we're going to bring you to the natural river. Then you can go right, and then we're going to we're at the top of the river. We're also going to come to the conclusion of the boat ride. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. I hope you enjoyed the singing. Beautiful singing. I'm going to come for a class. You're going down the boat. We're just going to be trying to remain seated. Because if I'm going down, it's a good order, safe people. Number two, make sure to look around. Don't lose any of your personal items. People lose stuff all the time. The last thing we're going to find your stuff up for sale on eBay, right? So take all your stuff when we get it. Folks, start with that piece for a job well done. Tips are allowed, accepted, greatly appreciated. So if you enjoyed the ride, we do accept tips. More job well done. If you have a Cash App, I got a Venmo. I also accept euros and churros, guys. So thanks again for joining me on the journey. God bless you all. Have an awesome rest of this day. Once again, remain seated. Tie the boat down and secure it. For your safety. Thank you. Folks, take a look behind me here. Got another view of the torch, another photo op. Enchilada red, pretty cool color. Folks, you might want to also get an idea of where on the river we're at. Right? We're at the top of the natural bend. Remember, it's a big circle. You go down that channel, that's man-made. It's a dead end. You got the convention center. You got the mall. Behind me, that's most of the restaurants. This part we're going to go down here in front of us. That's a little quieter. You have the first village, La Vita. You got the marriage island. Along with that big building with the gargoyles. Just so you'll get an idea of how this river does a big circle around downtown. This is the top of the circle right here. Has anybody been to the historic Market Square yet? You got to start market here in our city. It's not on the river. You take Market Street right here, go west about 4 blocks, right before you hit 35. You got the historic Market Square. You got a bunch of shops, a couple of really nice restaurants, guys. So